What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice.
I wanted to share this with some of you guys because Tasha K, she apparently did a post where she was letting people know that she voted for Donald Trump, and she was sharing her reasons as to why. I missed all of that, and I also missed where she did a live last night where she opened up her platform for people to call in just to share their thoughts. She didn't say call in if you agreed with me or if you supported Trump or his policies or whatever. She was giving people the opportunity to call in and share their thoughts, no matter what the thoughts were. I listened to the replay this morning, and I have to say that I definitely have some thoughts. But before I get into those thoughts, I'm going to share some of the commentary from the callers and the discussions that were had, because I really feel like it's important. So let's just go ahead and get into this, and then I'll share my thoughts.
Baby. Hey, HQ. I can't hear you. Okay, how you doing? Thank you so much.
Okay, there we are.
Yes.
Well, hello, Tasha. It was nice to meet you.
Yes,
Nice
where
to
you
meet you.
calling from?
I am calling from Georgia.
Okay,
Georgia.
shout out to Georgia. Y'all went red, but y'all still let Fanny stay in office.
Yes, we did.
Okay,
We did.
y'all said Fanny don't deserve to lose her job just because she slept with a married man.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It
I
helped out a
am,
black man who was down and out, who ain't did that before.
Oh, well.
So I appreciate y'all for looking out for Fanny like that. What's your
Right.
thoughts on what happened?
My thoughts are we're not going to die. We're going to get through this. I am a Democrat. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, I was disheartened, of course, right? Because I had read all of the things that Biden had done for the black community, right? You know, the 10 billion, 16 billion HBCUs, all of that kind of thing. You go to White House facts.black, and it will list all of the things that they have done for black people. The White House has done for black people. So I was very disheartened when he won, of course, but I guess he had a populist message that people wanted to hear, right? And that it worked for them. People were wanted to hear about immigration. People wanted to hear about people in a cage and eating food. It was just so much. I was just so tired of this election. People are so tired of this election. But my whole thing is this, and I'll close with this one thing. The gentleman said there weren't any Republican governors. It's about 27, 28 of them. So we're under the control of those Republican governors, right? That's our local thing. Those are the people that we voted for, and we're under their control. Number two, I want everyone who voted for Trump to have the same energy when he starts putting people in cages, dragging people out of their home, dragging people off their job, because he wants to deportate people on day one. That's what he said. He wants to do that. So I want to see it. I want to start on day one. I want you to start that immigration, and I want you to start deporting all these people. Every person that you see, they got a foreign accent. You need to lock them up and figure out
No,
where
that's not what
they're
he
from.
said, though. That's not what he said, though. I gotta correct that. That's not what he said. Not because they got a foreign accent. People who are
No, not because they got a foreign accent. But I'm
it's
saying,
just undocumented workers, and
right.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't look at that. Sometimes they don't even pay attention to that. They just grab people.
They do. I have a lot of foreigners in my family and stuff like that, and everybody is safe. No one has been, I think the only issue we had was around 9/11. When, a lot of my family members and friends were here, from overseas and stuff like that. And if you had a certain name, they was, dragging you in, ICE and stuff like that to, question you. But for the most part, like they just want you documented. And let's be honest, like when we travel overseas, let's just say for Mexico, we cannot enter their country unless we have our documents. There is no getting smuggled into their country at all. They do not play that. We're the only country where people, I'm not gonna say we're the only country, that's very ignorant of me to say, because it happens in France. You got Syrian refugees, Ukraine refugees and stuff like that in other parts of Europe. But like, it's just, the resources that we have for people that need it here, like the elderly and foster care systems and single mothers, as well as just even veterans and homeless people. We're diverting that to undocumented workers, giving them debit cards, giving them free phones. Even in California, and I took this on tour, like they were shocked to hear this, that banks were giving out free home loans, without down payments and, things like that, and low interest mortgages to undocumented workers in California. And they didn't have
but that's local government
that's
stuff.
local, but
That's not federal.
what I'm saying is this is still taking resources from people that live in California that can benefit from that. So we have to stop from the top. We have to start from the top by putting policies in place that protect us first, and then we can help everybody else.
I mean, I get all of that. I get all that, but I'm saying I want him to do exactly what he said he's going to do. He said he's not going to put a federal ban on the AB. I hate to say that word out loud. Put a federal ban on AB, and it's in the hands of the states. I want to make sure that since people voted for him, I want to make sure that you hold him to his word when he says he's not going to do a all over federal ban. So we can come to that agreement. When he says he wants to do a deportation, I want to see what that looks like. When he deports all of the people, I want to see what that looks like. Everybody who voted for him, I want you to hold his feet to the fire and make sure he does that. People say, well, somebody mentioned something about immunity for prosecution. That's a line he said. He wants to give immunity from prosecution to police. I don't know what that means for most people, but what that means to me is people can get shot or hurt on site without going to jail afterwards or get prosecuted for it. That's what that means. And who do they do that to? Our black and brown brothers. Ain't no white dude walking around scared when he get pulled over by the police. It's mostly it's mostly Hispanic men. So he meant that particular group. So I'm hoping that there's guardrails in place, fine and dandy. People love them some Trump and they get it. But I'm saying for us on the other side, this is scary. This is something that we are scared. I'm afraid for my daughters. I'm afraid for my granddaughters, because with the abortion issue, and this will be my final thing, the Roe versus Wade was overturned. It was turned over to the states. Great. But what if all of the states decide they want to have a total ban of abortion? What happens then? That means if you want to have an abortion, and me, if you want to have an abortion and I don't, that means your rights are negated. You don't have the right to have an abortion, and I have a right to have an abortion, or whatever. That means one of us is not being represented by this country if there's a total ban with abortion. So I'm one of those people that believe it should be at least legal, and then you can have the decision to make if you want to have one, and I can make the decision if I don't want to have one. But if it's an all over ban, that means one of our rights is going to be violated. Okay, that's the whole point of not giving it to the states, because if we give it to the states, all of the states can say no more abortions and nobody can get one. And and I know women will die if this happens. Okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I did not mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I just had to correct that little part, but I totally agree with everything that you said. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anytime.
Nice to meet you.
You too, mama. Bye. All right. Micah Brown, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tasha, how you doing? I'm calling from
where you calling from?
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah. Calling from Decatur, Atlanta, if you don't know.
All right, shout out to Decatur. Now, were you part of the 88% that voted MAGA?
No, I was not.
Okay. All righty. So obviously you voted for the other side, or did you vote?
No, actually I voted for Kamala this election cycle.
Okay.
And the reason why I voted for Kamala was because between the two, Kamala was the one that actually was able to articulate a plan versus having concepts and constructs of a plan that was basically built for no one not like me in the tax bracket. That basically he is benefiting, which is okay. For those that decided to vote for Trump based upon whatever your specific needs are. It's not about trying to bash. You're just trying to make sure that we are all educated. In education, there is a lot of stuff that Trump, being the president, being the figurehead, is just going to be in a place where your job, Trump, is just to sign the paperwork, while the actual real Congress, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and also the Supreme Court are the ones that are actually in the background doing the work. You have bad people that are in both the Republicans, you have people that are both in the Democrats. That does not mean that we sway our votes by any means, regardless of what it is. I mean, if it's better for you, then by all means, stand by your vote. Trump's not better for me.
Okay.
His policies do not apply for me. His moral standings do not apply for me, nor the people that he surrounds himself apply for me as well. If there's one thing that cannot be denied, is there's Trump's actions. If there's one thing that cannot be denied, is the people that surround Trump. If there's one thing that cannot be denied, it's that, hey, this right here is probably the soul of America. And that's okay. Because that don't mean that it's my soul.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Brown. I appreciate you coming up here to share your views, and hopefully, it. You're kind of open to what's going to happen, and so hopefully we can get some good things out of these next 4 years that can apply to you and help you.
Thank you. Same here.
Okay, anytime. All right, Tanika Walker, where you calling from, Tanika?
I am in Charlotte, North Carolina. How are you?
Mm-hmm. I'm good. How are you? Damn. You know what's so funny? I was reading the comments at the same time, agreeing. I know, right? And then I'm looking at you. You know I cannot multitask at all. So you calling from Charlotte?
Yes. So
Shout
of
out
course
to Charlotte. Okay, y'all swung. Y'all state swung yesterday. So what are your thoughts on the final outcome of the presidency?
So I personally don't agree with Trump being back in office, but I wanted to ask you,
okay,
what was your primary reason for going the Trump direction?
So, I've shared a little bit about it. Well, I tried to rally behind Kamala because she was one of us and she believed in a lot of our rights. And democracy tends to do. They believe in people's freedom of expression, freedom of sexuality, freedom of, just, I'm not going to say free speech, but for the most part, like, they believe in our rights to me as human beings. It's very liberal. And I can tread the line of being liberal a lot. I have 2 children who are growing up in Gen Z. And so a lot of these, issues that they campaigned about does affect my children as well growing up in the future. Now, there are some things that I think they're just a bit extreme, like, the giving of the hormones to children that are underage or the giving of the birth control to kids that are underage without having to talk to us. I've never been a advocate for that, but I'm a firm believer that, as long as we have open report, the government is not to parent our children, we parent our children. And given the last 4 years, I'm not going to lie, the only benefit I saw from Biden was the forgiveness of the student loans, even though it didn't affect me. I paid my student loans off. Inflation is so crazy and through the roof. People can't afford basic things. Home prices are the highest that they've ever been. Health insurance is the highest that it's ever been. And it's just been going up and getting worse. And them, for the lack of just community outreach, I haven't really seen the Biden administration on the ground, when we have these natural disasters and things like that. And we're just kind of expected as people to just rally around and help each other. And so, I'm gonna be honest with you, I had some knockdown, drag out conversations with, people that were close to me because I was riding hard for the Biden administration and for Harris. And I liked when she chose Tim Walz. I was like, he seemed very level-headed when he debated against J.D. Vance. I really liked the policies that he touched on. And I said, okay, even though Kalama hasn't really given us a specific plan of policies, it sounds like she was just giving us concerts and just money and throwing things in the air that she felt like would get the attention of us. And she stood for liberals. She stood for women's rights. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a firm believer in women's rights. However, and I tweeted this on Twitter earlier today, and let me read that tweet. Give me a second because I need people to understand. I really feel that, women's rights, and I'm saying this in the most humble way, right? You need money to feed a baby. You need money to abort a baby. Right. And so for me, it was just like, what do we do if we have no money? Now, I saw a subscriber here saying, Amber Lee saying Tasha K is just thinking about money. My team doesn't even know this, but there was a time where things got so low, right, that I opted to not take a salary for 1 year to pay their salaries. And nice. I'm used to living off of one income, and 15% of my husband's income is the way we've done it. And so I've sacrificed to save my business and things like that. So for the mere fact that y'all say that and have commented that I'm just about the money, it is about the money because I have a total of almost 10 people, that's not including outsourced people that we have that work for us full time. And what am I supposed to do? And what am I supposed to tell them? And they depend solely on the production of what we do that I can't pay them because inflation is through the roof. And every time you turn around, the Democrats and the House is sending money elsewhere and it's affecting us right here. And they're giving to everybody else but us. So the mere fact that y'all will open up y'all mouth to say that the thing that's on my mind is money, when that's how we pay our basic bills. And I don't live a lavish lifestyle at all. I live very regular. I don't have name brand purses. I don't have these earrings here, Aldo's. I do not play with that. Money is not my goal. That is not why I got into this business. That is not why I do what I do. I do what I do out of pure purpose. And at the same time, I have to understand that the purpose that I am fulfilling helps people that work with me to feed their families.
So Tasha, I will say this, and I'll be really quick. And thank you so much for
I want to read my
your
tweet. Hold on, hold your thought, because I want to read my tweet when it comes to women's rights. And I want to say this. And I know a lot of people are going to get offended, right? But let me say what I gotta say, because I said I was gonna wait to the end of the show, so I'm glad that you called and asked. Okay. And so when you're ready to read and drag, baby, I'm open. I'm not gonna argue with you. Okay. So I said, hold on. And they caught the tweet, which is cool. I said, Kamala, and I know I'm saying her name wrong, Kalama or Kamala, whatever, is a loser. And I said, even before she lost this election, and to think that I almost voted for this loser, I told every single one of my viewers to vote for Kamala on my tour. On my tour. I said, Black women voted for a woman who couldn't come out and say thank you to y'all after you voted for her. Howard University was waiting on her, while at the same time they're waiting on funding to fix AC, to renovate rooms. And so I also said Hillary did the same shit. I also said that's not a Black woman. That's not a woman. I said we don't run from anything as women. We hold our front, our homes, our jobs, win, lose, or draw as women. I said this tells me everything that I needed to know. Like, what if we lost a war under her presidency? She's not going to address us as a nation. She's going to go to bed, just like she did last night on us. I said, wake the fuck up. She is not like us. And I also said, too, hold on, last thing. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me make sure, because I got two phones here. Hold on. One got Rockstar Wireless, the other got Verizon. I need to switch this one over too. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure. I think I probably deleted that tweet. Okay. But I also talked about, women's rights. And I know a lot of people were like, Tasha, you just really just kind of gave up on women's rights. And I was like, you voted against it. And I'm like, women have rights. We have rights. Okay. Not only do we have rights, we have the rights to fuck, and we have the rights to not fuck. We have the right to get pregnant. And we have the right to not get pregnant. We have the right to abort. And the reason I'm saying all these words low is because, I'm trying to, keep us in the algorithm so they won't bury the lie based on our views. But we have rights. And the least of my worries, to be honest with you, is women being able to go and party and parlay. You sleep with somebody you don't want to sleep with. Then you get online like Sukiana or Megan Thee Stallion. You want to pop a plan B when that don't work because your body used to them. You want to go and utilize the abortion clinic. And that's not what it's for. It's for people who have been ARD, have incest, complicated births, and things like that. But we turned it into a chop shop. We've turned it into birth control when we want to be reckless. And true enough, if you got money to be reckless, if you got time to be reckless, and you really need to delete that baby that fast, you can hop the border to Mexico, go handle business, and come right back. Ain't nobody got to know. But honestly, those clinics are put there for women who really have issues carrying babies and whose bodies have been violated, but they have been turned into Plan B pills when the Plan B pill don't work. I'm sorry, that is the least of my views. And you need money in order to do that. So if we're broke as a country, how are we going to afford all of this? And so that's why I made the decision that I made, because I got a future to think about for my children, paying for her college education, paying for my son's college education, making sure that my teen can pay for their kids' college education, even if it means me not taking a salary, because the goal is to ensure that this company facilitates a place where everybody can come be happy, entertained, and at the same time make money to feed their families. That's what it's about. And no, my husband has not been deported. He is a U.S. citizen, not a permanent resident, a U.S. citizen that pays hella taxes, 55% of taxes every year. So those are my thoughts. We can agree to disagree, but that's it. And so don't get me started with the LGBTQ rights under democracy. I'm trying to be nice here, okay? Because y'all was very hypocritical dragging me the other day when I married two of my friends who were homosexual. And a lot of the Black women that unfollow me and dragged me for doing that, but also voted for Kamala, who believes in that. Make up your mind. Are you for the LGBTQ or are you against them? You guys like to pick and choose. Which is it? Let's talk about it. I will never forget, the pain that my two friends who have never ever lied to a woman about being straight and they were really gay, have always lived their lives to the fullest being gay, were shunned because of their sexuality, which is a liberal thing in which democracy believes in. So y'all get to pick and choose. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And this was under Obama. So don't come at me talking about I'm a hypocrite and I did this and I'm a traitor and y'all unfollowing when you cannot make up your mind on what you want to believe. How can you be against the LGBTQ, right? But still vote for the Biden or Harris administration? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, Tasha.
Okay.
So listen, what I want to say is
Mhm.
everybody is so focused on Kamala being the VP, not making things happen. When Trump had 4 years to do a lot and he did a little, he was not impactful. His response to COVID-19, we are still paying for that at this very moment. He downplayed the virus in the early stages, didn't take immediate action, and we are still to this very moment in 2024 paying for that. His healthcare reform, he was so against what Obama put in place. He had so many ideas that to this very moment never came to fruition. He added to the national debt crisis. So we keep hearing what Kamala can't do, what she didn't do as the VP, but how in the hell was Trump impactful? That's why I didn't go in the Trump direction, because he was not impactful as the president. And I mean, I'm open to the dialogue as far as how he was. What did he do for you, Tasha?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with anything that you're saying at all. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I am not the biggest Trump fan at all. However, he is our president. I did vote for conservative views, and I did that for a reason, because I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, and a lot of the things that were done under the Democrats directly affect me and the people that are around me. And so I had to put my feelings aside. And let's be honest, everybody keeps saying he racist. The whole America was built on racism. Okay. And honestly, when they do pass laws, purdy white women. Okay. That's why I say everybody need to get them one good white girlfriend. Okay. Because they are on the front line when it comes to this, directly affect us if we take advantage of the systems that they put in place for them. We can apply it to us just by educating ourselves on it, or using platforms like myself, like that I have, to educate you on how do you use these, policies and laws to benefit your life. So, I don't disagree with anything that you said. And yes, Trump did downplay COVID. And when we see the effects of COVID and, what happened, a lot of people would agree to disagree, because, we like, honestly, when we look at Dr. Fauci and what he and just the COVID rules as a whole, and it's like, did it have to be that extreme? You know how many people just lost businesses, and the first businesses were to go were Black businesses? But then when he gave out them PPP loans, they was all saved. Even though a lot of people took advantage of them PPP loans and used them to buy cars and jewelry and stuff, but there were a lot of businesses that were able to keep going. I didn't have to apply for one, thank God. We were good during that time, and we lost a lot of people because we weren't prepared. And honestly, America never takes anything serious until it's too late. We're just that way. The whole world can be shut down. We'll just be like, we good over here. That ain't got nothing to do with us. It wasn't until they started putting them numbers online, and we was like, we may want to stay in the house. I lived in Georgia. Our lockdown was 2 weeks. And during that 2 weeks, we was having house parties. We don't take nothing serious. So,
This is true.
but I do agree with you. And however, it's like, yes, he had 4 years, and we made it do what it do. But, like one of the other callers said, we didn't vote for Kamala. We didn't ask for her to be here. We voted for Biden. Where's he at now? He ain't even showed his face. You got Russia and China riding in synchrony 200 miles off the coast of Alaska, and he chilling on Rehoboth Beach with his sunglasses on like this. Dude, do you know they both got nukes? Like, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to be all the way honest with you. When it comes to the state of our country and everything that we've done during previous presidencies and stuff like that, and just, different administrations, there's going to be a time where America is going to have to pay. We're going to have to pay, and we have to be protected. And I'm going to be honest with you. The one thing that really kind of made me feel okay with Trump being president is that, he don't play no games about no war. He told Putin straight up, you got a missile, I got one that's bigger and faster. Let's see who's go faster. Putin stood down. He stood down. I don't want to come all up here telling I don't know if I'm going to hit the red button. I don't know. No, I can talk to him. No, you can't. No, you cannot. They're already mad that we're helping Ukraine. So, it's a very emotional time, and we all need prayer. We all need to just hold the fort. And like I said, I apologize for, letting you guys down, and so if you felt that I let you down, that was not my intention. I voted strictly based off of what benefited me and my family, as we all do. And so can you agree to disagree, Ms. Walker, that we both voted to what benefits our current situations?
Absolutely. You know, I'm big on at the end of the day is going to end. At the end of the day, we got to keep moving forward regardless. So I don't dislike Trump. I don't dislike Trump supporters. I don't dislike Kamala. I don't dislike Kamala supporters because I'm not a supporter of either one, but I had to make a choice and exercise my right. So I respect everybody. I just won't change. So we're going to see what Mr. Trump going to do.
Thank you. We're going to see what he's going to try to do because we all know at the end of the day, it's the House. It's
right,
the House.
Right. All right, love.
Thank you, baby. Okay, we're going to take one more caller and then we're going to head over because I got to do an interview with Alexis Guy's best friend, ex-bestie that she had jumped. And then we're going to drop the Charleston White interview tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TashaKLive.com. So it's actually going to go out in like 3 minutes, okay? And then Friday, because I will not be here Friday, I will be having surgery. We will drop Angel Love's Baby Daddy's Male Lover, okay? Y'all told me to go get that. I went to get that. Come back with that, and we can split that. Get that. Hey, so listen, y'all make sure y'all have them subscriptions on TashaKLive.com. And don't forget, guys, we are in Houston December 31st. Tickets are selling out. Please get your ticket, okay? We are in Houston celebrating the New Year's Eve together. We got wine, gossip, and comedy. Plus, we got an after party with live entertainment, and we got card tables, dominoes. Bring your little brief or whatever it is that you do, okay? Look on everything, and we gonna party in Houston, all right? So, all right, last caller. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of you guys. I really wanted to. And thank y'all so much for participating. Oh my gosh, thank you. Miss D Fox, how you doing? Miss D?
Hey there, Tasha.
Hey, baby, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Shout out to Fayetteville. Okay.
But I'm a Jersey homegirl, though. I've only been here in North Carolina for 13 years. I was born in Camden, New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay,
Born and raised in Camden.
What are your thoughts on the election?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm 61. This was the hardest election I have ever been involved in. I did not feel good about either candidate. I didn't feel good about Kamala. She didn't answer questions like I wanted her to ask. She didn't get directly to the point. She did a lot of repetition answers over and over and over again. So I wasn't really well with her. Trump I was already not really into Trump for the things that, he has said and acted out and spoken, hurt us people and everything. So I really wasn't into him. But when it came down to the wire, I did vote Kamala. I did.
Okay.
I am a little disappointed that she did not become president. But as I look over it now and I look about it in hindsight, perhaps that was the greatest choice that she did not become president. I'm saying Trump, I'm not really into Trump, but one thing I have looked at about this election, Trump is not a very nice person. I think some of us may agree about that. But one thing I like about Trump brought the dirt out of the darkness. He put light on the dirt, although he can be dirty too, but he put light on the things that we've had rosy-colored shades on that we did not see about our government, our senators, our White House, and decisions that have been made that we've had no part in, things that they woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and deciding bills that we had no knowledge of. And, this happened on the Democrat side and it happens on the Republican side. So my thing is, I say, and I'm going to make this real short and sweet. To me, I'm spiritual. God is our president, as far as I'm concerned. So no matter if you put a red up there or if you put a blue up there, God's hands is going to lean in and protect and cover us and protect us. I am not going to be fearful of no one. I don't fear anyone but God. I don't fear Kamala and I don't fear Trump. But I hope and pray that Trump will try to do what he can do. We'll see what he does. That's all I can say. And I want you to hold your head up high and understand this from a 61-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
When you vote, that's a personal, private choice. Nobody needs to try to shame you for your choice of who you voted for or didn't vote for. That's private. When we go into them little cubicles, we can go in there talking about we voting for Kamala and go right in there and vote for Trump. Or we can do just the opposite. I'm voting for Trump. Get in that private booth. We're going to vote for who we want to vote for. So no more people coming at you, trying to shame you about your choice. That was your personal choice. And you voted for whom you wanted to vote for. I did too. And I love you. I want the Lord to continue to bless you. And I've really enjoyed this conversation. It's been great for me tonight.
All right, so you heard that, and here's what I want to say with regards to that. I don't have an issue with regular people who felt like voting for Trump was going to be more beneficial for their personal lives versus the lives of everyone that it would affect. Because when people vote, most people are voting for what is more beneficial for them and their household versus what is good for the entirety of the nation. And I do believe that when Joe Biden was elected the last time, the majority of the votes that he received was because a lot of people were like, no, we can't deal with Trump anymore. It's no to Trump, not yes to Joe Biden. So we really have to be honest about that. And also, unfortunately, I do believe that a lot of people give Donald Trump credit that he does not deserve, because a lot of us have some sort of either amnesia or just so much time has passed that people have really forgotten what things were like when he was in office. And we went through the great pandemic while he was in office. So he got credit for a great economy that was created when President Obama was in office for 2 terms. So he got credit for things that he had nothing to do with. He dismantled a number of things that Obama had put in place and tried to dismantle some things like Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. And he's still saying that he's going to dismantle that. And that's going to mess up a whole lot of people if that is done in this second term of his, this second time of him having a presidential administration. So people saying gas was lower, prices for things were lower, it is because of what we went through during the pandemic. It's not because he lowered the prices on things. So most people, if they've gone through a time of some hardships or struggle during the time that whoever that president is in office, people are more than likely to blame that president for what they're going through versus what happened in the previous administration or what has just gone on in their personal lives that have caused things to happen. Because Joe Biden and Kamala did not have control over the prices of these things, and companies price gouging, just jacking the prices up ridiculously because they put profits over people. The government, definitely the president of the United States, and quite sure the vice president doesn't have any control over those things either. But what I'm going to say is I do give Tasha K credit for allowing people to call in and share their views and listening to people. Because there are a lot of people who have been Trump supporters who have just been hell-bent on making it seem like, I'm right, you're wrong, bow down and kiss the ring. Donald Trump is going to be your president whether you like it or not. So get your ass in line, get ready. We are the ones that are in rule and you are going to be the servants and you need to just deal with it. It's like this air that Donald Trump has brought into this space of politics that was already grimy, that was already dirty in the first place. Since he came on scene in politics in 2015, he has made it so vile. So vile. But a lot of black people like Tasha K, if they've gone through things financially, which a lot of black people go to struggle financially anyway, when it's time for a presidential election, those who don't even participate in local elections, they will tend to blame the president. But a lot of them, they either check out and they don't vote at all, or they wind up voting against what's going to be more beneficial for them in the long run. And unfortunately, I do feel that Donald Trump is going to be least beneficial for people like those of us that look like Tasha K. And I just feel that she was also not, I would say when she made the comment about Kamala being a sore loser and saying Hillary Clinton did the same thing, while I get where she's coming from, because I didn't even think about how all of those people came out to Howard University and they were waiting to hear her speak and she just left them all hanging and didn't come out and say anything. I would say, okay, I get where she's coming from with that, because she could have just come out and said something. She didn't have to give a concession speech that night. She could have just come out and say something to thank the supporters for being there. So I kind of understand where she was coming from with that. I'd never thought about it in that way. But the reason for the concession speech being the next day or the day after is you wait until all of the votes are tallied. And that night, it was not, even though a lot of stations were calling it, there were still some votes being tallied. So I wouldn't fault Kamala for that. And a lot of blame has been put at the feet of Kamala for things that she could not do as the vice president. So I would just say I don't have any disrespect. I feel any disrespect, I should say, from Tasha K, because that's the way that she decided to vote. And I'll tell you why. I have clients. I'm from the South, still in the South. I have clients that are Trump supporters. I love them. They love me. I just don't like Trump, and I didn't vote for him. And they don't like Kamala, and they didn't vote for her. But they're not trashing me because of my opinions, my viewpoints, and my decisions. They support me. They pay for their services. We respect each other. And I will continue to love and support them as they love and support me as well. We're not going to allow a vote decision that's based on what they feel is more beneficial for their household to split us up and make us hate each other. It's the people that are vile. It's the people that are making videos and making nasty comments about people that voted for Kamala and she didn't win. Like, it never used to be like that. I do blame Donald Trump for a lot of that. I'm not going to say that he's making people do what they do, but it doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. And quite frankly, it's brave of her to even say that she voted a certain type of way, because she didn't have to do that. It wasn't like she was constantly creating content about politics on her platform. Actually, it was rare that she did. There were a few Instagram posts, about Kamala, and she said that during her tour stop, she was encouraging people to vote, and actually to vote KH, not KKK. So, she even said that about Donald Trump, and I laughed when she said that. But what I'm saying is, apparently a lot of people are pissed at her, and they decided they're unsubscribing, they're unfollowing. And hey, that's their personal decision to do that too. But I'm just saying, based on how I know a lot of people, and I talked about this in one of my previous commentaries about the outcome, most people, when they make their decision in the voting booth, whether it's before or while they are in the voting booth, they make it based on what is going to be beneficial for their family, what's going to be beneficial for their household, even if they don't have all of the details, even if they don't know ultimately what is going to take place. They do it based on the information that they have, and they go with that. Most people are not going to vote on what is best for the entire nation, what's best for the economy as a whole. They're making it based on what they're going through, what they're experiencing. So while I don't agree with her vote, and I did not vote the same way, I'm not going to bash her because she made the decision. I actually feel like it's brave that she even shared that, because she did not have to. But like I said, I come at it from the standpoint of being someone that knows people, have clients that support me that are staunch, I wouldn't say they're not MAGA. Here's the difference. There's MAGA, and then there are just people who voted for Donald Trump. And a lot of the votes that he received, the percentage that's over the 35%, those are just people that voted for Donald Trump because they want something different. The 35% of the votes that he received, those are the MAGA people. Those are the MAGA maggots. Those are the people that are nasty, vile, foul, that are white supremacists, that are racist, that feel like everyone that is not Caucasian is beneath them. They need to take the country back. They need to make America great again by putting those that they see as beneath them in a permanent servant class where they're not benefiting from anything, where the government is involved. Pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. We did it. You should be able to do it too. And we know that that's not the case. The things that have been in place in the systems, that's why they call it systemic racism. It has been put in place because it benefits those who are not Caucasian. Period. So I just wanted to share my thoughts real quick on that, because like I said, I don't agree with her vote, but I know why she did it. She did it like a lot of people over the 30 to 35% of the votes that he did receive did it. They did it because they were blaming Kamala and Joe Biden for the way things are in their lives right now, when the truth of the matter is that's not 100% the reason why things are the way that they are in their personal lives. Not saying that they don't deserve any type of accountability or blame. Absolutely, they have to take some accountability and responsibility, but there's some things that are out of their control, and there was a whole lot that was wrong when Donald Trump is in office. But again, like I said, a lot of Americans have amnesia. They're not remembering the hardships of what we went through during the time of COVID. And the things being lower is because there was a lower demand because of all of the shutdowns, and a lot of people went out of business. A lot of people lost businesses. A lot of people lost lives. That's just during the pandemic. There's a whole lot of other things that I could go into, but for the sake of not making this a longer video, I'm just going to keep it there. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, she shared her thoughts, but she allowed other people to chime in and share their thoughts as to why they either agreed with her or disagree with her. And I have to give her credit for that, because a whole lot of people would not do the same. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.